Hey, it's Christine. Today we're going to be making a vegan version of a Mos Burger. If you don't know what Mos Burger is a Japanese burger shop, and I think they're all around the world probably, and they have a famous rice burger. So the bun is made from rice, and then it has traditionally meat in it and some lettuce. Gosh. And today we're going to be putting a meat replacement in. So the meat replacement we're going to be using is a nut meat. So this is in Australia, and we got this from Woolies. You can get it from Coles, IGA, and it's Sanitarium, I think. And it's basically just made from, well, it is made from water, wheat gluten, peanuts, onion, salt, minerals, and B12. And yeah, so that's a really good substitute for meat, and it tastes exactly like the old one that we used to have. So this is really good for when you're transitioning, trying to be vegan, or trying to just having your friends over for dinner that aren't vegan. Okay, so this is the meat. So I've taken it out of the can. We're going to break it up. But first of all, I'll just tell you the other ingredients. So you're going to need a vegetarian mushroom oyster sauce. So there's no oysters used in it. It's mushroom oysters. Soy sauce, pears, and make sure they're in juice, because you want to use the juice mainly. You can use the pears as well, because the syrup doesn't taste as good. We made a mistake by buying syrup and made this, and it wasn't very nice, or as nice. So you need some brown vinegar. You need coconut sugar. You're going to need, for the rice burger buns, these rice crumbs I use. You could use flour, you could use any other type of crumb. I just had these and they work well. And rice, just white rice. So first we're going to put the rice on so that we can get that cooking and it can cool, so we can be able to touch it with our hands and form the buns. So I like to rinse my rice first, because just washes off anything, I guess, any dust or anything like that, who knows. So we're going to do 3 cups of rice, because we're making 3 of these. Maybe even 3.5, just so there's enough. Okay, so I'm just going to rinse the rice first, and this is just under my filtered tap water, just room temperature water. Okay. It is organic, so it should be good. So the same amount of water to rice. So 3.5. Alright, we're just going to chuck that on the rice cooker. Okay, so now we wanted to break up the meat first of all. Now I've had it in the fridge because I actually cut a little bit off last night and used it for a hamburger for my grandma, and I've done that before and she loved it, so you can use it for anything. It's multi-purpose. So it can be a little bit hard to break up, so you're going to have to cut it up. And do not be deceived by it, because it might look a bit, you know, different because it's in a can and whatnot, but the end result tastes so good. And we've had a non-vegan try it and they loved it. So, and they haven't actually tasted the original, I don't think, but they loved this one, so that's pretty good. And the sauce too, the marinade that we're going to make, is our secret recipe that we made probably about a year ago. We made to taste similar to the charcoal marinated beef that you get from Korean barbecue. So, and they use it in their salads as well, so as a dressing. And it's like a dipping sauce as well, and it tastes really good. And yeah, so we incorporated that onto the Mos Burger because that's what we thought it tasted like, and it does. It tastes exactly like it. It's so good. And cruelty free. So just want to break it up as much as you can. Gosh. So when you put them, after you've marinated a bit too, or when you put the marinade in, and it's got some moisture in there from the marinade, it'll break up a bit easier as well. So we'll leave that for now, like that, and we'll make the marinade. So, it's really easy. We're going to do, first of all, 3/4 of a cup of this pear juice. So 1, 2, 3. I'm using 1/4 of a cup, so 3 of those, so 3/4. Now you can chuck some pears in too. I'll do that at the end, and then I'll mash them up after I've mixed everything else around. You don't have to do that, but it will just give it that extra sweetness, I guess. We're going to do 3 tablespoons of coconut sugar. Now I've got a 1/2 tablespoon here that's just always in there, so I'm going to do 6 of these to make 3 tablespoons. Yosh is back. Yosh is in on the action. So that's 6. Okay, and we're going to do 6 tablespoons of brown vinegar. Oops, probably 1.5. 3, 4, 5. We'll just do a little bit more. Okay. And we're going to do 2.5 tablespoons of soy sauce. 1, 2 and a half. And we're going to do 3 tablespoons of the mushroom oyster sauce. Okay, this is a bit hard to get. Jack Yash, 2 and 3. Okay. Yes. So we're going to put in also 2 cloves of garlic. You can use as much garlic as you want. 2 is enough for us. Yosh. So even Yosh is interested in it, and they usually only eat meat. Carnivores. Yosh wants to go. Okay, so as I said, we're going to chuck in just a little bit of pear. Probably, I don't know, 3 little bits. And we're just going to mash that up. And we're just going to mash it up so that it just all mixes around together. Oh, gosh. That's enough. Get out of that. You don't need carbohydrates, baby. There you go. A cat is interested in it. A cat that only ever eats meat. Okay, so that's good. Just get that out of there. Okay, so we're just going to give it a quick taste. Taste. Spot on, pretty good. So as I said, last time we actually made a video too, but it filmed the wrong way up. We didn't use the in juice, we used in syrup. You want to use in juice. This is really good. So we're going to pour this into the nut meat.
Cat meat.
So yeah, it's breaking up a bit easier now because there's a bit of liquid in there. Oops. Try not to flick it everywhere. So you just want to leave this to marinate, I don't know, 10 minutes, say. To just soak in a little bit. I've left it overnight before, so you can do that if you really want to. But either way, it's going to taste good because it's all going to soak in because it's just wheat and peanuts and gluten anyway. And yeah, it just comes out so good. So after this, we're going to make our rice burger buns. Get onto them and start them while this marinades. Once the rice cools down. We're going to fry up the meat. Now we don't need any oil or anything because it's so saucy. Watery as well. Okay, so the rice is finished cooking, so now we're going to probably want to wait for it to cool down a bit, but we're going to put the rice in the bowl about the sort of size you want. I'm using this bowl because it'll give it a nice rounded top like a bun. So it's a little bit more. So we want about that size. Alright, and we're just going to put some of the rice crumbs, so gluten-free. sprinkle a bit over, and then we're just going to mix it around a little bit, and that will help it stick together. See, it's starting to bind already. Okay, so now we want to push it back down into that shape. Okay, we're going to put a little bit more of the rice crumbs. Take it out, oops, and just try and shape it a bit. Oh. Okay, so that's one side of the bun, the top half or the bottom half. So we're going to fry this up. We're not going to use any oil. Hopefully it doesn't stick. Just wasting space and that. So we're going to pick some lettuce from our garden for the Mos Burgers. So we want to pick the biggest leaves and just pick them at a time as we need them, and then they'll grow back. So now we're going to assemble the burger. So these are our buns. Alright, we're going to put a little bit of lettuce on. Some of the meat. Or nut meat, should I say. And that's it. Mos Burger. Rice Mos Burger.